Let me tell you the story of Timothy Treadwell, a man with a deep love for animals that ultimately led him to a life-changing encounter with wild bears in Alaska. Treadwell grew up in Mineola, Long Island, with a fondness for animals that was evident from a young age. He even kept a squirrel named Willie as a pet. But his life took an unexpected turn when he went away to college and began to spin elaborate stories about his background, claiming to be a British orphan or from Australia. Things took a further downturn when he lost a coveted role in the hit sitcom Cheers to Woody Harrelson, and Treadwell spiraled into alcoholism. But all that changed when a friend convinced him to travel to Alaska to watch bears. From the moment he encountered a wild bear, Treadwell knew he had found his true calling in life. His destiny was entwined with those of the bears, and he spent the next 13 summers living among them. Treadwell's mission to protect bears began in the late 1980s, after he survived a near-fatal heroin overdose. In his book, Among Grizzlies, Living with Wild Bears in Alaska, he writes that his drug addiction grew out of his alcoholism, and that his recovery from both was due entirely to his relationship with the bears. He studied the bears closely, spending hours with them and even naming them. He claimed to have developed a sense of mutual trust and respect with the animals, and his passion for them led him to become a well-known environmental activist. He documented his experiences in almost 100 hours of video footage and a collection of still photographs, and became a public figure as an environmental activist. But as you'll soon find out, Treadwell's passion for bears would ultimately lead to a tragic end. Treadwell had a love for adventure, wildlife, and nature which took him to the remote wilderness of Alaska. Every year, he would set up camp on a vast expanse of land, known as the Big Green, in Hello Bay on the Katmai coast. Here, he dubbed the area the Grizzly Sanctuary and would spend countless hours observing the magnificent creatures in their natural habitat. But Treadwell was no ordinary observer. He would get closer to the bears than anyone ever dared to before, even touching them and playing with their cubs. He claimed that he had a mutual trust and respect with the animals, naming them, and building a standing relationship with them. In his book, he wrote about how careful he was with the bears. However, a research ecologist by the name of Tom Smith had something different to say. He accused Treadwell of breaking every park rule there was, harassing wildlife, and interfering with natural processes. As the summer progressed, Treadwell would move to Kaffir Bay, an area where bear trails intersected, and he would set up camp in the Grizzly Maze, a dense thicket of shrubs. Here, the chances of crossing paths with wild bears were much higher. Despite the potential danger, Treadwell continued to record almost 100 hours of video footage and a large collection of still photographs. But there was one detail that Treadwell left out in his videos. His girlfriend, Amy, was with him during parts of the last 3 summers. Other women Treadwell dated also accompanied him on some expeditions, although they remained anonymous. By 2001, Treadwell had become a well-known figure, receiving extensive media attention both on television and in environmental circles. He made public appearances as an environmental activist, traveling throughout the United States to educate school children about bears, and appeared on popular talk shows such as The Late Show with David Letterman and Dateline NBC to discuss his experiences. What fate awaited Treadwell and his girlfriend, Amy, in the wilds of Alaska? Would his risky behavior finally catch up to him, or would he continue to defy the odds and live to tell the tale? Only time would tell. It was October 2003 when Timothy Treadwell and his girlfriend, Amy Huguenard, set out on a journey to Katmai National Park. They were eager to experience the rugged beauty of the Alaskan wilderness, but little did they know that their trip would end in disaster. Huguenard was afraid of bears and felt uneasy in their presence, but Treadwell was undeterred. He set up their campsite near a salmon stream where wild bears commonly feed in the autumn. But this time of year, the bears were more aggressive than usual, as they tried to gain as much fat as possible before winter. The bears that Treadwell had grown accustomed to during the summer had already gone into hibernation, and unfamiliar bears were moving into the area. Some of the last footage he captured shows a bear diving repeatedly into the river for a piece of dead salmon. Treadwell expressed discomfort around this particular bear, and it's possible that it was the one that would ultimately end his life. Treadwell spoke with an associate by satellite phone on October 5, 2003, and mentioned no problems with bears. The next day, when a Kodiak air taxi pilot arrived at the campsite to pick up the couple, he found it abandoned except for a bear. Park rangers were contacted, and upon investigation, they discovered the couple's mangled remains. A large male bear was killed by park rangers while protecting the campsite, and it was later revealed that this was the first known incident of a person being killed by a bear in the 85-year history of Katmai National Park. A video camera recovered at the site captured only 6 minutes of audio, which included Treadwell's screams as a bear mauled him to death. Filmmaker Herzog claims that the camera's lens cap was left on, suggesting the attack happened while they were setting up for another video sequence. But the mystery of what exactly happened to Treadwell and Huguenard in those final moments will forever remain unsolved. So, my friends, let this be a lesson to all of us who seek adventure in the great outdoors. Respect the power and unpredictability of nature, and always be aware of the risks involved. The wilderness can be a beautiful and awe-inspiring place, but it can also be unforgiving and deadly. I hope you appreciated learning about this real crazy story. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more content in a storytelling way that will keep you entertained all the way to the end.